Transform each can be useful when using patterns as well. So commonly you can make adjustments with transform each before making a pattern. Once you have a pattern made, you can actually go in and adjust it with transform each to rotate and scale things. And then after patterns are expanded into objects, of course you can mess with them that way too. So for example, before making a pattern, I've got just static, no variety. I can then do transform each. I can, randomize them a little bit or whatever. And then from there, when I make that pattern, it's going to have that variation built into it. So that's an easy way to sort of jumpstart a pattern. Inside a pattern fill simply means once you have an object with a pattern fill in it, you can select go to transform each, and it's sort of like using the scale and the rotate tools, or even moving, but all within one location. So in some ways this is actually a little easier, so I can scale things up. I do want to say don't transform the object, just the pattern. Scale things up, rotate, whatever, and this gives you quite a bit of control in a way that's a little bit different and maybe a little bit more comfortable than using scale tool and rotate tool. And then the idea of expanding a pattern, and then after it's expanded, creating variation, randomization. So to do that, what I'm going to do is just copy this. Right now you're looking at, an example of the pattern as well as the pattern after it's been expanded and manipulated. So here we just have a copy of the pattern itself. To turn this into paths that I can then manipulate sort of one by one or selectively, I'm going to go to Object Expand, just leave Fill clicked in this case, and then you'll see now this does have a grid inside it. This part of the pattern, it does have a clipping mask component to it. So in order to do much with this, we will need to also go to Pathfinder, and then I'll just in this case use merge, and you can see then it's eliminated a lot of that, all of that junk, and then I will need to go to ungroup most likely. Then if I wanted, I could start going around and deleting these little fragments, or maybe I want to leave them. It's sort of depending on what you want your container to look like. But in any case, I could go in and I could start to select, any number of these by themselves and change their color or whatever. So let's do that. And I'm not sure, let's double check that we don't need to change CMYK. We do, so it needs to be CMYK. Then we can select a color. Again, that annoying quirk of Illustrator. But then also, we do have the transform each option now. So we could go in and rotate things a little bit, randomize it, scale things up or down or whatever. And so that makes it, just a powerful tool to, after creating a pattern and expanding it, introduce some variety into it.